Hi and welcome to this video. We're going to go through some frozen shoulder exercises today. Now, this is a condition that needs to be diagnosed and looked at by your doctor or physiotherapist just to make sure you're doing the appropriate exercises for where your condition is at. There are 3 phases to frozen shoulder and it results in basically adhesions within your shoulder capsule tightening up. So it makes movement very, very difficult for a period of time. It can even last up to a couple of years, unfortunately, for some people. So get your doctor's advice. But generally speaking, the exercises I'm going to show you today will help with shoulder mobility and just to keep it moving a little bit. But the movements you want to avoid with frozen shoulder generally are movements above the head and anything above the height of the shoulder. That can be difficult to do anyway. So the equipment that you'll need today is a can of food. I've kept this really basic so that you can do this no matter what equipment you have. A towel, so I've got a small hand towel here, so just any towel is fine. Grab that, grab a can of food, and if you do have a resistance band of some kind, grab that as well. We're going to do a few exercises with that, but don't worry if you don't have this, you can do the other exercises as well, or just do the movement without a band. Okay, so first up, we're going to look at mobilizing the actual shoulder joint itself. So grab your chair and I'm going to show you some pendulum arms. So you can just lean at the back of your chair. You want your body slightly forward on an angle here, and grab your can of food or a small hand weight if you have one. And what you want to do is just lean forward a little bit. So you have to have your body slightly forward. You can bend this supporting leg, and then what we do is just start to move and let the arm swing forward and back. So this very, very simple thing just helps the shoulder capsule itself to relax and start to mobilize a little bit. Now you want to generate this movement from your torso. So rather than using your shoulder to generate the strength and movement, think about moving from your torso and the arm follows as a result of that. Okay? So if I'm just letting the arm literally just hang forward here, and starting to do some little circles. You can go 5 each way, 10 each way, whatever feels best for you. And then back around. Good. And then we can go forward and back as well. So I am transferring my weight a little more forward here to let the arm relax a bit more. Okay, so you can take your feet apart and then step one foot in front of the other and even lean right down if you feel you're not getting that correct angle. Okay, so there, but keep a flat back though. You don't want to let go of your posture as a result, and really relax down through the arm here. Good, so that's just quite relaxing and easy to do. So the circles, the pendulum forward and back, and then the pendulum side to side as well. Good. And then you can obviously do that with the other arm, but we're working on the arm that is sore. Next, I'm going to get you to grab your towel. Now this is going to help us with movement range. There is a stretch I like to do with my clients where we place one hand under and then over. So you want to try and grab the hands behind, but that can be really tricky if your shoulder's super tight. So what we can do to help with this is grab a towel, place it behind the head, and then grab at the bottom so it opens up the range. Now if you can go a little closer together, that would be more beneficial for your hands to be a little bit closer, right? And then what you want to do is just hold open through this stretch. Just hold the elbows back and then start to work on the elbows opening forward and back, forward and back. Now if one of your shoulders is super tight, you can actually drop the elbow as well. Just work on opening and closing through the shoulders here, but in this position. So I'm really working on this one here, opening and closing it. Good, open and close. And then you can hold that stretch statically here for around 20 seconds, just taking some deep breaths as you do that. Good. And then look, I like to do both sides with this one in particular because it is really good for the shoulders. even if you don't have frozen shoulder on both sides. So we start to open and close the shoulders here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Good. And then you can hold. And remember, if that's getting too easy and you do have a decent range, walk the hands in closer towards each other so eventually they can actually touch together at the back. Good. So then from here, I'm going to take a seat. With your towel, sit forward on the chair, shoulders rolled down and back. I want you to really be aware here that your shoulder itself does not come up. Okay, so tummy in, inhale, pull the towel apart as you lift, and exhale as you press it back down. Now, if your shoulder is super tight here, just go a portion of the way. You don't have to go all the way up. Lift and down. So the whole time I've got tension pulling the band sideways here, or the towel sideways. We do use a TheraBand for this too sometimes. Lift and down. Good. And 2 more here. Look, anywhere from 5 to 10. Really slow and controlled is great for this, but do what feels right for you. Good. Then from here, we're going to, if you can place your arms or the towel behind you. Now I know it's hard to reach up if you've got frozen shoulder, so just try and grab the towel around you here and lift the elbows out to the sides. From here, closing the elbows in and then opening them back out. Getting that nice chest stretch and mobility through the shoulders just with this forward and back movement. Very simple but really nice and effective. Forward and back here. Good. Getting that chest nice and stretched out and mobilizing through your upper back is important as it all connects into the shoulder as well. And look, anywhere from 5 to 10 is fine here for this one as well. Good, and a couple more forward. Squeeze the elbows forward and back. And you're keeping the towel here just as that guide to keep your elbows the same height throughout this movement. And bring it down. Good, so let that one go. Next, we're going to do a few without the towel or anything at all. So shoulders down and back. So what we want to do first here is just a forward raise, palms of the hands facing downwards. Inhale, lift the arms to wherever you can. Exhale, down and back. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down and back. Very, very simple, but really, really good. Once again, to just keep moving your shoulder in all directions, forward, to the sides, and then back as well. Also, that circular movement we need. So arms out to the side here and down, and out to the side and down. Just go once again to the height that is comfortable for you and where you're at. Good. And then if we go out to the side, forward, draw a straight line back, and then down and in. Out to the side, forward, bring it back, and down and in. So I'm going to come up and stand here just to increase the range and do some backward press as well. So out and down, side and down, forward and down. Okay, so back, side, and forward, and back, side, and forward. And then we can bring our hands to that comfortable level, whether it's down the bottom here or in front of the chest, and try to circle back and around. Touch the hands behind your body if you can. Forward, join them at the front, and back and around, touch together, and forward and around. And again, this can be done really, really low in a very small circle, just around your body. Again, listen to your body, do what's best for you with where you're at with this condition. And around, good. And back, very good. So grabbing your band now, if you don't have a band, don't worry, you can do it without. Just make sure you use resistance, as in imagining you're pushing against something to get that resistance through your body. So holding the band on one side as the anchor point, the other elbow is going to be tucked into the sides of the ribs. We externally rotate. Inhale, exhale. Open and close. Keep the shoulders down and back. Good. And open. If it's too painful for you to hold the band, you can actually stand on it or pop it onto something where it's steady, hold it closer into your body, and then do the external rotation. Okay, so holding wherever it's best for you. By having your foot down on the band here, it does take a bit of pressure off rather than just holding it through the other arm, which has to work hard to stabilize, okay? So a few more here, and 2 and 1. Let's do the other side. I'm going to anchor it down, hold, and then out to the side. You can do this one with a loop band as well if that's what you have. And out, keeping the elbow tucked into the sides of the ribs. Good. And 6, 5, 4. This is quite intensive for the rotator cuff itself anyway, even without frozen shoulders. So just go easy with this. 2 and 1. Good. And a couple more I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand up to do this one. This is really, really great for the front of the shoulders as well as the deeper shoulder muscles. So we press out to the side and we start to pulse it out and up. Now you can start to lift the band higher here if it feels okay for you, and continue pulsing out gently. Just at the level though where it's comfortable once again. If it's down here, that's fine. Just keep the band low if that works best for you. Do around 10 and then have a rest. And that's fatiguing in itself, especially after the other ones. And we do the same thing back. Now if your shoulders are super tight, just hold the band low and press out to the sides. Keep your chest up. Do not collapse forward into your chest and shoulders here, all right? So bring it out and up. Good. And just 10 is fine here for this one. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I want to show you just one more here, which might help. Now, if you do have a decent range of movement at this point, take your long band, bring it up behind your arm, and try to lift your elbow up to shoulder height or just below slightly. Keep it as high as you can, of course, within what you can do. So then we go forward with our arm and up, forward with our arm and up. And this is just that inward internal rotation rather than the external rotation. Forward and up. Good. And forward and up. Forward. Now my elbow is below the shoulder here because I'm guessing that if you have frozen shoulder, it might be a bit lower compared to normal where we would have our elbow right up. So do what you can here. And look, this one is for maybe later on when there's not as much pain and when the movement does start to return. But you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 is great for that as well, for the internal rotation. Hope this video was helpful for you today. Frozen shoulder can take a long time to heal, and sometimes doctors say it's like an overnight thing where your feeling and your mobility does come back quite quickly. Do the exercises that are appropriate for you. Post any questions below and I'll get back to you. Do check out the other playlists as well on this channel and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next video.